Hi, I'm Lita Leapins.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we're starting this episode out where we start every episode at Hubcast Studios in the heart of Vancouver.
That's right, so let's get right to Our City Tonight.
Well, it's a busy lunch hour here in the very trendy West Oak restaurant in Yaletown. We've got the corner booth with a great view of everything. It got quiet all of a sudden, didn't it? And we're joined once again by our good friend Megan Brush. She is the, I love saying this, fine wines expert. Specialist, expert, it's all good. But Western Canada region for Galleon wines. Good to have you back. We're here at West Oak.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we're really excited because this is really an iconic winery. Chateau St Michele, they were the pioneers, truly, in introducing Washington to grape growing. Now, we have to mention that it was introduced in 1912.
1912. Folks, put that into perspective. That's 2 years before World War I, 9 years after the invention of flight. Okay, there's my
wow, he's been looking up his research.
That's amazing, though. That's amazing, over 100 years.
Yeah, what I find really, what has proven the success of Chateau St Michele over these decades upon decades is how they've been able to go into each AVA in Washington, there's 14 of them, and really explore the terroir and see what is the best to grow.
But AVA needs to be explained.
Yeah, just about to say.
Okay, so it's similar to like a delimited region within the Washington province where there's actually characteristics that make it unique unto itself. And then the growing there and the vineyards there are allowed to actually use that quality standard on their bottles so that the buyer and the purchaser can say, okay, I know this is of a good quality or a certain region. All of the grapes are from that place.
Now, would that be like a BQA?
Absolutely,
Oh, perfect.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
yes.
there's a good understanding.
Well, what are we having first here?
So this is a Sauvignon Blanc from Horse Heaven Hills, which is an AVA. It's very bright. It's got nice bright pear, bit of honeysuckle, really refreshing.
Smells good.
And I would pair this with something fresh like a chinois prawns, a bit of halibut, goat's cheese dishes, things like that.
That's lovely. Very
Wonderful.
Nice. All right, well, listen, we're going to come back to West Oak, and Megan has told Lita and I that in our next part of the segment, we're going to talk about 2 showstoppers. Is that a tease? Yeah, that's coming up later in Our City Tonight.
This episode of Our City Tonight is sponsored in part by Pure Maple Water, your pure and natural hydration source.
Well, we're back here at Atlas Steak and Fish. We love this restaurant. It's always a lot of fun, great food. But I am here with Camille Sullivan. She is one of the most active actresses in the city. We just love her work. And we're really excited that you have a new series coming out called The Unspeakable. Well, it's coming to CBC on January 9th, if I'm correct. Can you tell us a little bit about this show? It's quite controversial.
Thank you. Yeah, it's based on the true events in the early 1980s with the emergence of HIV. Blood products in Canada, which were being used to treat hemophiliacs as well as people receiving blood transfusions or whatever, were tainted with HIV and hepatitis C, and thousands were infected. And it's a real tragedy of bureaucracy getting in the way of people's health in our country. And it's a very interesting story that spans from the late 60s to the early 2000s.
Yeah, and you're a mom dealing with some massive heartbreak in this movie, but what was interesting when we were chatting before is that you get to go from the 60s all the way into the, well, until you're, what is it? How old?
72 I go
72,
to.
23 years old to 72. Tell
Yeah.
us how that was. How was that filming that?
It's amazing. They did a fantastic job with the old age makeup.
I can't imagine them trying to make you old, but I guess we'll have to see in the show.
Oh, they did. Oh, they did. It was, like a couple hour process, and it looks really fantastic. And I think it just shows that this is a situation that affected people's lives for their whole life.
Wonderful.
Not just, this moment in time.
Well, it's great to have this showcase, and we're going to take a quick peek at Unspeakable.
Why didn't you guys tell me I have AIDS? I heard you talking.
Your T cells are slightly below normal, but nobody knows what that means yet.
It means I have AIDS, like Andy.
Why didn't you come to us?
You guys didn't come to me. You didn't want me to know.
We didn't want you to worry.
Because I'm gonna die.
Stop it. I don't want that to even enter your mind.
How could it not?
Because you're not sick.
Great. That is Unspeakable. It is going to be airing on CBC on January 9th. Excellent show. Now, what did you have to do to prepare for this role? You had to be a lot of different ages. So what did you do?
There was a lot to prepare for it. I had to, first of all, learn about what happened and the crisis. Although I was around, I was not old
Pretty
enough
young.
I was not old enough to appreciate what was happening. And as well, I had to think about how you change. I thought about how I've changed as I've aged. The way I handled something in my 20s is not the way I handle something now. So I tried to make that leap to become more grounded as a person and have more understanding and make those changes internally.
So nice to have you here with us again. We love that you're doing some really, really impactful movies.
Oh, thank you so much.
And we're looking forward to tuning in on January 9th to your new series.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Camille. Well, we're out here in Port Coquitlam. We're at the showroom of Gyrus Stone, Vancouver, and we're with Roseanne, Vice President of this great company that has been around for 20 years. Now, your company, basically what they do is exterior cladding, so I like what you say about it. It's like the lipstick for the final buildings when you're making beautiful homes, building beautiful homes. Because you're the last trade and people are, running low on their budget maybe, but this is one of the most important parts because it's beautifying your home, and they need to find something that is high quality, but I'm sure they're searching around for something that is a good deal too.
Right, so they love this product. This product is beautiful, but it's high-end, and it goes on high-end homes. So what they've been doing now is they've been looking around for something like it, that looks like it because they want it. There's a problem with this for many reasons. One is safety. Yes, it may be more affordable, but this product is CCMC approved, it's engineered. We give an engineer's letter with every job we do, and it's government passed. The government of Canada has passed this as safe. There is a rain screen system, as you can see right here. There's hangers built into this tile, this product. It goes on with screws, galvanized screws, which will never rust. All of this is guaranteed for 25 years. Wow. These products, they're pouring them probably in a garage or some back warehouse into a mold.
Not yours.
No. These other copycat products are being poured backdoor, if you will. They're not put on with this. There's no rain screen system. There's no engineering. They're kind of coming in under the guise of us. So what they're doing is buttering, painting on mortar on the back of these tiles. These tiles are very heavy. This is the lightest one that I have.
Oh, I know, and you had me holding some other ones in the back there, and they just get consistently heavier.
Right, this is one of our lightest ones. So then they butter these with mortar, which it scares me because they don't know proper consistency. The engineers have not said this is what it will take to hang this tile safely on a wall. They may or may not use the same amount on each tile. They're not taking their installers to school. They're not trained. They're just buttering these like they would be some sort of brick or something. So what happens over time is heat, moisture, mortar will dry out and it will crack, and then these things will fall off your house.
Well, I could just imagine, we were talking earlier about your gardening, you're next to the house, or maybe your kids are, or your pets, and one of those, even the lightest one falls off, and that definitely
from
dangerous.
A third floor.
Wow, yeah.
You're gonna get a serious injury or worse, right? Yeah. So when you're doing a job, buyer beware. You want a good product, you want it affordable, of course, but you also want to look long term. We guarantee our product for 25 years. We engineer it before and after the job, and it comes with an engineer's letter. We also have been certified by the Canadian government that this product is safe and it will last 25 years, so you get that.
Perfect.
We also ensure that our installers are honest, you know, they're there, you will never lose your money.
Well, your reputation, you've been in business for 20 years, and so that speaks for itself. You've got a lot of business. You are running a very successful business. I know you have some of the family involved in the business as well, which makes it even better. So you can definitely trust your workers. That's great. Now you do this all weather. Your installations are all weather, especially being in Vancouver, and you're all over the mainland. Where can folks find more about your company as well as get a hold of you and ask some questions?
Well, you can go on our website, gyrustonevancouver.com. You can come to our showroom in Port Coquitlam.
Great.
You can also look up stonetilecanada.com because that's where they manufacture and make these products. And yes, you can drive around any neighborhood in Surrey, Richmond, Vancouver, and you will see our product everywhere. It's beautiful.
It is very beautiful. Now they also can find you on social media, on Facebook, as well as Instagram, and you're also on LinkedIn.
Right.
So that's great. So Roseanne, thank you so much. It's nice to see really high quality. I've seen some of the finished products. They're just gorgeous. They really do change the look of a house. So thanks again, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, we're back here at Hubcast Studios, and now it's time for another edition of On the Town, sponsored by Genesis Richmond. Well, we always like to showcase great restaurants and great food here on Our City Tonight. We're not exactly in Vancouver at the moment, though. We are up in beautiful Whistler, BC, at the spectacular Four Seasons Hotel, and I'm with the guy who's going to tell us all about the food. It's executive sous chef.
Sous chef.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dave Brashears, and we've asked him to pick a couple of things that you can find on the menu here at Side Cut Bar and Restaurant. So you take it off, Dave. What are we going to try first?
Right here we have our cedar plank sockeye salmon. So it's wonderfully cooked on a cedar plank, just like you do at home.
Yeah.
So
and what does the cedar plank do to the flavor? Like, how does it play into the flavor?
it gives it a little smokiness to the salmon and stuff. It almost steams the salmon as well, so you get this nice baked salmon.
Very nice. How long has this been on the menu?
This has been on the menu for a year and a half now.
Very nice. Well, why don't you, I don't want to sound greedy and self-centered, but why don't you cut me a little piece here and I'll sample, as we always like to do on the show. How long does this take to cook?
This takes about 20 minutes to cook from start to finish.
Very nice. Oh, wow. And is this locally sourced?
Definitely locally sourced, ocean-wise product, so sustainable.
You can taste the oak and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, that's delicious.
So we'll bring this out to the table to be carved right at table.
Do it at the table, right. Oh, that's so good. Wow. Now, as we said, we asked you to pick two items. What is our second item?
Our second item is a beetroot Wellington. So it's a play.
Beetroot Wellington, okay.
It's a play on beef Wellington.
Right.
And we want to treat our vegetarian guests just as special as our normal guests. So we used a beetroot encased with a mushroom duxelle, puff pastry, and a vegetarian jus.
All right, so as you're going through here first, I'm thinking.
Yep.
Not destroying the whole meal, as I've just done. Not destroying the meal taste, but the display anyway. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little taste here. Oh. You know, I gotta stop sounding orgasmic on television, but this is, oh my goodness, that's delicious. And this has been on the menu for how long?
This has just got on the menu this winter season, so it's been on the menu for 1 month now.
And do you just, well, before we wrap up, how dramatic or not dramatic does your menu change depending on season?
Pretty dramatic. Like, we are a steakhouse, we have our staples, and these steaks are incredible.
Yeah.
But we play a lot around with our appetizers, a lot of seafood dishes, a lot of variety for everyone, not just steaks.
Very nice. Yeah, because you've got a lot of steakhouses in this village, so it's nice you can offer a lot of different things. Dave, thank you. I appreciate the food, which I'm going to dive into as soon as we stop filming. We're going to go from inside to outside in just a few seconds, check out a really cool concept and some interesting drinks on a beautiful sunny day here at the Four Seasons in Whistler. One of the big box office hits of 2018 was last summer's Crazy Rich Asians. Now, the film premiered in Toronto last August, and Our City Tonight was fortunate enough to be there on the red carpet. With the film now available for home viewing, we thought we'd take a look back at the film and the interviews Lita did last summer. So here's a look back at the film Crazy Rich Asians.
Well, we're here at Tiff Bell Lightbox Theatre. That is the home of the Toronto International Film Festivals. All kind of great films being shown here. But we're here for the premiere of Crazy Rich Asians. This is a best-selling book that has turned into an amazing movie. It is just a sweet love story, fully engaging. You cry, you laugh. It's got a great cast of characters, and we're going to meet some of those characters in just a minute. It's a best-selling book. How did it feel to be a character? Did you feel some pressure that you had to be exactly that character, that all these people had read this book, they love this book? Was there any challenges with that?
Yeah, you know, I really did want to stay true to the with my portrayal of Oliver. I wanted to stay true to the book. I read the book right before I knew I was going to audition for the movie. A friend of mine was like, "Have you heard of this book? They're making a movie. So, like, you should read it because this part named Oliver is perfect for you." And I read the book, and they came to Oliver's description. It was like 30s, wears glasses, loves fashion, is gay, and I'm like, just give it a part. I need to play this part. And that's when I bugged my agents. I was like, I need to play this part. But I really worked really hard to sort of like, you know, stay close to the book and with the accent and all that. So.
Cool. So were you a fan before, though?
Oh my God, I devoured the book. It was like really like so juicy and like a soap opera.
Yeah, my wife and I were huge fans of the books way before the movie was greenlit, and we were just like, they gotta make this into a movie. They just have to. And the fact that they did, even if I wasn't in the movie, I'm so excited for this movie to come out. So yeah.
They came to you.
Yeah, I mean, basically, John Chu is a friend of mine, and it was just, look, I mean, I just wanted to be a part of this movie in any capacity. It was an honor. It really was. I'm just so glad I was able to do it.
Well, you're amazing, and you look amazing, and you've been making us laugh for a long time. We're so happy.
Oh my God, so much.
What is next for you in the digital world?
Yeah, well, right now I'm working on my own Netflix special for doing a comedy special in a couple months. So in between kind of promoting this movie and some other movies, yeah, I'm doing my first kind of stand-up comedy special in about 6 weeks. I don't have no jokes yet. Can you help me?
Well, you got a huge following, and we loved you in the movie. You were amazing. And Asian Ellen actually cracked everybody out.
Oh my God. That is true. I was the type that, I think Ellen even pulls it off a little better than I do, though, to be honest, yeah.
And lastly, I know so many people want to talk to you. What do we have in the works for you? What are we going to see?
Oh man, so right now I'm working on a pilot. And you know, it's pretty much this for, I'm going to work on recording this movie.
Great. Well, you were amazing, and thank you for sharing your talents.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Nice to meet you.
Well, we're back here where we started the wine segment earlier in the show at the very trendy West Oak during the lunch hour. We've got a very cool corner booth, and we're back here with one of our pals. It's Megan Brush. She is the fine wine specialist. I like to say expert, but we'll say specialist for now. West Coast region for Galleon Wines, and we've got another wine. You start talking.
Well, first I'm going to start talking and asking some questions about Chateau St Michele, again, historic winery. They have two particular winemaking facilities, one for red, one for white. Can you explain that? Because that's a little bit different.
Yeah, of course. So Chateau St Michele has a very large production. They have several vineyards and all AVAs across Washington. So they actually have grown to such a large amount that they have a white winemaking facility where all the white grapes go, and they have a red winemaking facility where all the red grapes go. So it's beautiful. They're both stunning to visit. Just located outside of Seattle, Washington, about 20 minutes in Woodinville is where they're headquartered.
Great area. We both have been. We've all been down to that area. It's a great place to visit, not that far away if you're watching here in Vancouver. Okay, what is the first wine we're going to sample?
So this is the Eroica Riesling. The Eroica gets its name from Beethoven's Third Symphony, and it's actually a collaboration between Dr. Lucen, a famed German winemaker, and Chateau St Michele's winemaker. Both world-class Riesling producers came together in 1999, and every vintage that they have produced since then has won 90 points or above.
Wow.
So it's internationally loved.
And this is new and old world meeting, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let's try this.
And it tastes well drunk when it's new, fresh vintage, and then you can age it as well, and it just keeps developing in the glass.
Now, putting you on the spot here, what would this go well with?
This one I would pair with like a scallops dish. That would kind of match it a little bit. Something with a little bit of even Asian dishes would be good with this. Something, they can really stand up to anything, and it's awesome on its own.
Okay, one more cheers here.
Cheers.
Delicious. So this wine we have in front of us is one of the second showstoppers that you have promised us, and we can't wait to try it. I know it has a very, very interesting history.
Yes, actually, Chateau St Michele have just recently launched this wine from the Columbia Valley. It's called Born of Fire, and it's got a very cool label, and it all because of the new area that's called the Burn.
Yeah, explain that for I was reading that. Explain that phrase.
So this land area in Columbia Valley in Washington was recently actually all torched, all flamed, all vegetation burned. Now it's able to be regrown, and then the vines that are growing there and the grapes that are produced actually are lending itself to these kind of like herbaceous, a little bit of tobacco. So it's actually producing some really interesting wines, and it's actually up for debate to become the 15th AVA. This is kind of exciting.
Oh, excellent.
Well, let's take a little taste of
I already
Born of
sipped
Fire.
one.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
cheating, all right.
Delicious.
I hope you find notes of, black fruits, a little bit of spice, as I said, like pipe tobacco, all coming from that Born of
Ooh,
Fire
yeah,
flame.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's delicious.
That is really
And we
delicious.
should ask, available here at West Oak, but also you can find it where else?
This one you can find at Kitsilano Wine Cellars, and then other private retailers across the Lower Mainland in Vancouver. As I said, it's a brand new, so if you do see it, I encourage you to try it. It's very different from anything that has come out of Washington so far.
Wonderful. And we'll say as we wrap up here, how do people get a hold of you?
Oh, if you wanted to ask me any questions on wine, you can follow me on Instagram at Megan_Brush, or go to galleonwines.ca.
Well, she said it all. She is Megan Brush, the fine wine specialist, I say experts, here on the West Coast, Western region of Canada for Galleon Wines. And hey, thanks for bringing us here to West Oak. Lita and I have not been here in a while, and we thank you for another great wine segment. And we should say one last thing quickly. You will be at the Vancouver Wine Fest. Yes.
I will be there with Chateau St Michele wines, so if you're planning to attend, it's the end of February 2019. Hope to see you there. Come try some wine.
Excellent. Cheers.
again.
Okay, thank you.
It's time for another segment with our resident hair expert at Bobo's Philosophy. He'll tell Lita about how you can care for your hair. Lita.
Thanks, Jim. Well, we're here in Yaletown at the very popular salon, Bobo's Philosophy, and I have been coming to you for over 15 years now. And I have to say, and I always say to my friends, I have not yet left here unhappy. You always do what's right for me. But I brought you some crazy ideas sometimes, but enough of that. How long have you been practicing styling?
So long, styling over 20 years, 25, and I started in Vancouver, my first salon 16 years ago, down on Davie Street in English Bay, and after 10 years I had to move from there to here, Yaletown, way better, more popular area, and took over the salon, and with a great team, and we developed.
You have a great team. I can definitely.
Yeah, Steve and Amy, Matix, they are really great, and we're try to the best of us, and we are not specialized just for one thing. We do everything.
And that's what I like about your salon, is that you can come in and there's not, you're not sending me off to a colorist and sending me off to someone to cut my hair and somebody off, for a consultation. Each of you all do everything, and you're all experts at that. Now, how do you guys keep up with that? Because there's so much change in hair care all the time.
Trainings, education, we're following the latest trends from the social media, from our suppliers, from big companies. They directing trends and terms of coloring, shades, cuts. So you have to keep up. You have to be basically almost ahead of the game, not on top of the game.
Totally.
So we're trying too hard. I'm traveling on biggest hair shows worldwide.
Yeah, which when you leave, everyone's
screaming
stuck
at me.
screaming at you when you get back.
Yeah, so you guys are great. You're like consultants, you're experts. As I said, I've never left here without, being completely happy and coming in for styles as well when I need last minute styles. You're always there, you and your whole team. I really appreciate them. Interesting following you guys on social media. You've got some great examples of the types of hair, the befores and afters. Just a really great salon, and you guys, you're very popular. We're here before they're getting their mad rush for the day, so appreciate you guys spending some time with us today.
Appreciate to have you always.
Well, back here at the Four Seasons in Whistler, we've gone from inside at the great Side Cut Restaurant and Bar. Now we're outside with Leona, and I'm going to get this name wrong. We are at the Vintage Camper
Patio.
Patio
camper van.
There we are. I'll get it right on the 9th pick. Anyway, you look after this area here. I love that you guys are doing this and offering this as an option for people coming back. It's a gorgeous late afternoon here. Lazy Sunday. What a great place to check out and tell people about your fantastic drink, the Tipsy Snowman.
So here we have the Tipsy Snowman, just right here. We actually launched it for American Thanksgiving. We have our wonderful house-made hot chocolate, your choice of booze to spike it up. And last but not least, this wonderful little snowman here by a pastries team. It's actually made by marshmallows and got a fun little look here. So hopefully by the time you finish drinking one of those, you'll get a little tipsy yourself.
You know, as a child, I got grounded for building a Tipsy Snowman, but what's interesting too is that you actually started in the summer, so 6 months from now, 7 months from now, you can come and enjoy sangria?
Oh, of course, yeah. We actually started our patio camper van here, launched for our Thursday famous barbecues. We use our patio camper van for sangrias, for our house-crafted cocktails. It's definitely a good scene to be in.
All right, listen, this is a great setup. I'm glad you guys are doing something like this cool and vintage. Really great. We're going to continue. I'm on to my third marshmallow. I can't seem to get it right, but Leona's trying to help me with fire and the marshmallows on, and the Tipsy Snowman right here at the Four Seasons.
Cheers.
Thanks. In Whistler. Cheers.
This edition of On the Town is brought to you by Genesis Richmond, a new kind of all-inclusive luxury experience.
Closed captioning for this episode of Our City Tonight provided by Pure Maple Water, your pure and natural hydration source. Well, we're back here at Hubcast Studios, and you know what that means, the end of the show.
That's right, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Genesis Richmond. Test drive, purchase, maintenance. They come to you.